Sorry about that little camera flip there. I don't know what happened. So I wanted to do this yesterday. It's actually day two, but yesterday was day one of this whole EBT shutdown, and no one being able to get EBT. I guess throughout the whole entire country, all of the United States, people are waiting for their EBT payments and stuff. And so, our state, New Mexico, we are the only state, I guess, the first state to have our governor come in, step in, and help out by giving us our taxes back, I guess, giving us our taxes back in the form of $30 million as EBT, or the electronic benefit transaction card, and the SNAP uh, benefits, which is basically a supplemental nutritional, um, I don't know, SNAP. I don't know what it means, but either way, it's supposed to give everyone their food, right? And what I've heard is that our government has collected taxes for a while now, to the point to where, in case of any government shutdown, we have funding for years, guys. We have funding for years. And so it's sad that they're shutting down things. They're basically turning this into a Hunger Games thing. So, what I wanted to talk to you guys about was how our governor has given $30 million to the state of New Mexico, to the EBT recipients. That's 460,000 EBT recipients, guys. And so, I don't know if anyone has done the math, but everyone's applauding the governor, like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing that our governor is helping out and all this. And I'm just thinking, okay, well, all right, 460,000 divided by 30 million, how much is that? You kind of like try to figure out the math, like maybe like $100 per person or something. But if you really do the math, it comes out to $65.12 per person, and that's if they divide it up equally. But usually, the benefits aren't they're not divided up equally. And I'm just showing you guys the food here. I'm just going back and forth, but they divide it up not equally. Some people get like a few $100s. Some people get like a few bucks. On their EBT every month, depending on their wages, how much they make, how much work they're putting in, if they're disabled or not, if they make any money, if they got any sort of income coming in at all whatsoever, right? So people making up to like thousands of dollars in EBT, some people making only less than $100 in EBT, right? And they're getting supplemented with it. They're not actually earning it or anything like that. And so the governor, the media has been claiming that 30% people are going to get 30% of what they normally get in order to help them for the first 10 days of November. But what it really breaks down to is $65.12 if it's divided up equally amongst the 460,000 EBT recipients here in New Mexico. So with that being said, we've got to figure out some things, guys, because that's only $6.12 per day, per family, for 10 days. So we're going to talk about beans, guys. You guys can get beans, right? I normally jar up all our stuff here, right? So you can get a bag of beans. This is probably a bag and a half, maybe. I don't know. I jar them all up. And so that's probably a bag. This is, I don't know, $2 worth of beans, $3 worth of beans, right? And then you get yourself some rice. Now, I've been telling everyone that we get the big basmati rice, which I can't show you because it's completely covered in stuff. But we normally buy these really large bags, which are 20 pound bags of basmati rice, right? And I spend, I don't know, like 30 or $40 for that, something like that. I don't know what it is, but it lasts us a long time. So last night I made some beans and I made some rice, and we also bought some rotisserie chicken from the local store here. And that chicken is actually more expensive than it used to be. It used to be $5, but now it's like $7.99, $8. So to cook on a budget, if you do just beans and rice, and you get yourself some tortillas, right? The tortillas you get like 80 count for about $3 to $4, right? So you get yourself 80 count of tortillas. It'll last you about a week or so, depending on how many tacos you eat, how many you put down, how many your family puts down. Um, so if you're making, you got 10 tacos per day, it's a week's worth at least, if you got 80 tortillas. So you make some beans, you make some rice. The beans go a long way, right? So what you have to do is you got to go through the beans, you got to sort them, you got to get out all the ones that are like broken like that. You got to look for any sort of rocks that might get collected when they're harvesting the beans. So you got to make sure there's no rocks in there. You go through them, hand pick them, put them in a pot. What I do is I do a quick cook, right? Where you put the beans in the pot. I don't know, let's say a cup or two of beans, right? And you put some water in there. You fill it up to where it covers the beans, and then some, like maybe twice as much, maybe even 3 times as much of the beans, right? And then you bring them to a boil, right? So we have this pan here. This is all dirty from yesterday, still gotta wash it. But we brought this to a boil, right? As soon as you bring it to a boil, you shut it off, you keep it covered, you let it sit for 1 hour. This is the quick cook method, right? You let it sit for an hour, then you drain all of the water out, and you get rid of all the dirty water, all of uh, the I guess it's like the gas or whatever that's within the beans. You allow all of that, like the fermentation, the acids, whatever it is, in the beans after it's soaked and after it's been in the boiling water for a while. Then you drain it all out and you put new water into it. Then you cook it between 4 to 6 hours, depending. Some beans cook longer, some shorter. If you have a pressure cooker, it cooks a lot quicker. So then you cook the beans. What I do is I basically just cook them down, add a little bit of cumin, add a little bit of garlic, and then salt them. And that's it. Sometimes you might add a little bit more stuff, maybe some oregano, maybe some chili powder. But basically, all you really need is just like salt and garlic. I like to add the cumin. Some people don't like cumin. Some people just like the beans plain. So we've already eaten. We've had plenty of food last night. The chicken went a long way with it. The rice, we barely ate any of the rice. I made a 1.5 cups of water, so it was 3/4 cup of rice. Normally we do 2 cups of water and 1 cup of rice, and as you can see, we have so much left over. So this food will last us throughout the day today. So this meal on a budget, we're thinking maybe $2 in beans, maybe a dollar in rice, and and then the tortillas, $4. That's already over the $6.12 budget, guys. We also have cheese, and we have some tapatio and salsas and stuff like that, guys. Avocado. So with the chicken and everything else, we're way over budget with the $6.12 that our governor has allotted us here in New Mexico. Also, people, um, the governor claimed that November 1st, 460,000 New Mexico EBT recipients were going to be receiving this portion of the $30 million on their EBT cards. I posted up yesterday on Facebook, and there was one person who said that my dad and I received $100. Everyone else is waiting. Nothing's been put on their card. Another individual says that his daughter got like a buck something, buck 75 or something, but then um, that comment was deleted. So I don't know if that was just a joke or if it was serious and they only got like a dollar something. But some people have gotten nothing. Some people have gotten $100 possibly. This is all hearsay and all claims. There's no proof, no receipts. But also, EBT was able to be used at the store yesterday on the first. So some of us were figuring the stores aren't going to be accepting any EBT because they won't be able to cash out. The stores won't be able to get their funds back. But apparently, they're still accepting EBT payments. My wife gets EBT, so we were able to make a couple purchases yesterday, but nothing was added um, to her card. So $0 from the governor, although she claimed that on the first, which was yesterday, it should have gone through. So today I'll probably make another low budget meal, and we'll see how far I'll go, if we'll have any leftovers. I normally don't like to keep leftovers, guys. I'd rather just eat the meals and go. But being that what we're doing is here, we're trying to show you guys how to cook on a budget. I'm going to try to be making some meals like this that we will have some leftovers. These beans will probably last us a day, maybe two. We can probably get through these. These can be turned into refried beans or tostadas for making burritos. You can cook them. Fried eggs and beans are really delicious. It's something that we grew up on here in New Mexico. A little red chile, which if you have chili powder and some a little bit of some lard and some a lot of people use onions to cook it down, and you brown the flour in the oil and the onions, add the chile powder, add some salt, add some water, maybe add a little more flour to thicken it, or add a little less water. You can turn it into like a roux, basically, a sauce, and that's how you make a red chile sauce, a red chile. And so, yeah, for New Mexicans, all we really need is like beans, rice, tortillas, maybe some eggs. Some people like fried up hot dogs. Some people like fried bologna. I got away from eating that kind of stuff. But just wanted to share with you guys a wholesome meal here: beans and rice, tortillas, corn. If we had some squash, then it would basically be like the three sisters: rice, corn, the rice, the corns, the bean, the squash. Be an awesome, highly complex protein and carbohydrate meal. With that being said, I wish you guys the best of luck getting through with all of this. Um, from what I'm learning, there should be no delay on any of this financial assistance for anyone, especially those with disabilities and those who really, really do need this. We've been paying taxes to where we have funding for years, guys. There's no reason why a government shutdown should shut down the EBT payments right now. What they're doing is they're playing games with us. They're doing the Great Reset. They are using food as a weapon. They're weaponizing food now, and and basically it's just to create more power and authority over you, more control over you, and to get you guys scared and to live in fear. So don't give in. Just know that we'll be okay. Everyone's taking care of each other. If you guys need food, like I said, I got plenty of beans and rice here. I don't like leftovers. I can cook this again. And if you guys are local and anyone is starving, please hit me up. Let me know. I'll bring you a meal. I'll bring you a nice warm meal. You just got to coordinate with me and we'll figure out how we can meet up. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll bring you another today. Maybe we'll make some kachari. Maybe we'll do some dal and rice, something a little bit different that you guys don't know about. Maybe we'll do chicken coconut curry. I don't know. We'll do something different. All right. But you guys have a wonderful day. Good luck with all of this. Don't give in to the fear. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And know that we're all coming together to help each other out, guys. All right. Love and blessings. You guys have a wonderful day. I'm out.